This week on Beyond Stillness, Stories After Stroke, we welcome guest Stephen Albright, a faith-filled family man from Ohio. In today's episode, we hear powerful stories of resilience, faith, and forward movement. From navigating a complicated relationship with his father to facing a life-changing stroke, Steve's journey has been one of unexpected guidance and growth. His story of pain, confusion, and faith show the importance of asking for help, waiting, and seeing the way forward. Life doesn't always unfold as we expect, but sometimes the most surprising moments lead to clear paths towards purpose, connection, and hope. Thank you for joining us for part 2, Stephen Albright's interview.
Beyond Stillness, Stories After Stroke is made possible by our guests and tax-deductible donations from friends and listeners like you. Join us in empowering stroke survivors with stories of wisdom, purpose, connection, and hope at www.beyondstillness.org.
Hello and welcome to Beyond Stillness, Stories After Stroke. Stroke offers a powerful, life-changing shift in perspective. Each colorful memory creates a parable for life's greater teachings, a compass for journeys ahead, and inspired wisdom for unique growth. Beyond Stillness offers a moment of pause for storytelling and reflection. Ultimately, we create a welcoming environment that reveres the moment beyond stroke's paralysis. Still moments unite humanity and divinity. I'm your host, Molly Bucola. As we begin today, we take a moment of pause to honor ways that wisdom has emerged through our recoveries, to revere purpose, connection, and hope that has showed up in our lives. And we give thanks. Now, Stephen Albright's interview. Steve, thank you for sharing your story. Before 4th of July 2019, what did you know about strokes?
I used to be a medic, and I was a STNA at a nursing home and a local hospital. So I knew what they were. I never suspected that I would have to deal with it. I'm not diabetic. I wasn't overweight. I was very active. My only risk factor was smoking.
How did your wife Peggy know about Be Fast?
Well, she works at a hospital too. And very recently before that, they had done a bunch of stuff at the hospital for stroke awareness or cardiac awareness. And she actually had a magnet on the refrigerator that has the Be Fast on it.
Be Fast. Check for B, balance, E, eyes, vision loss or double vision, F, face, maybe a face droop or numbness, A, arm, check for weakness or numbness in one of the arms, S, speech, is the speech slurred or difficult, T, time, it's time to call 911. Wow. Good thing Peggy knew the signs of stroke and that the 911 attendants were able to assess you over the phone. In your story, Steve, you shared a bit about your journey in the hospital and rehab. One of my favorite pieces was your interaction with your physical therapist, Christine. I love when you talked about Christine saying, "For now."
Yeah.
You can't do it for now.
My father's wife, Lee, he wants to write a book about all my experiences and this, that, and the other. And I said, go ahead. And she's like, what do you want to call it? So we decided we're going to call it For Now.
For now.
Yeah.
You can't do it for now.
Right.
You said that sometimes you replay that phrase in your mind. Can you give us a specific moment lately, like maybe even this week, that you replayed the phrase, I can't do it for now, in your mind in order to motivate you?
Well, I got really lucky. A good friend from church, he found a trike on Goodwill auction site. He said he got it for almost nothing. And he gave it to me because he thought it'd be helpful. And I looked it up, and it's called an Amtrike 2300. No, brand new. They're like $6,000 bikes, brand new.
Wow.
And he got it really cheap. He said he got it for almost nothing. We've had to make a few modifications. My wife and I were talking. I'm like, well, I can't use this because it had two hand brakes, which is understandable, and it had two gear shifters, one on each side of the handle. Well, for now, at least, I'm not able to use my left hand very well. So I couldn't grab the brakes and do it, or I couldn't use my thumb and change the gears. So we took it to a local bike shop. Another friend of mine from high school had a bicycle business, and they're local still. So we took the trike down there, and they shifted everything over from two gear shifters to one, and it's on the right side, and
Ah,
one brake handle. Now I can use it. We've been out. I've been out a few times on it.
wow. I can't do it for now. And then again, you figure out a different way to make it happen.
You
You
make
took
it
it
work.
in. Yeah, you adapted it. Have you heard of Dan Zimmerman?
Yes,
Yeah.
he's the one that got me interested in the biking in the first place.
Yeah, we shared Dan Zimmerman's story here on Beyond Stillness, and
Yeah,
he travels the country with, I think, 19 different adaptive trikes in order to help fuel people's recoveries. And they're all different types of trikes.
yep. He's been here twice, local,
Oh, really? I love it.
for their CycleCon.
Yeah,
Guess what they call it?
yeah. So you can't do it for now, but you figured out a way you can do it. So
Yeah.
let's thank Christine, your nurse, because you're sharing that with other people now too.
Mm-hmm.
You also mentioned the man who found the trike was in your church community. And
Right.
quite a few times in our conversations leading up to this, you have mentioned your church community. Besides bringing you meals when returning home from the hospital, what role have they played in your recovery?
Well, they've just been very supportive. One of the ladies that I used to run with, when I first got out of the hospital, she organized a walk and asked people for donations and stuff too, which I just didn't feel right asking people for money. But that first weekend after I got out of the hospital, we went out to our local park here, and a bunch of them showed up to walk with me. Everybody was there.
Wow, that's beautiful. What would you suggest for people who don't have a community when they get out of the hospital and they don't really have a group, maybe they're estranged from their family or they don't have a church community. How would you suggest people find one, find a community?
Well, and when it comes to church and stuff, pretty much every town I've ever seen has at least three different denominations. And if that's the type of relationship you're looking for or you think you need in your life, then go to one, check it out. Just go to one service, and then next week go to another one and just try different ones where the people seem more welcoming. Just try them out. Just go look and see.
What if people don't feel comfortable with religion? Where do you think they could find a community?
Most insurances cover a silver sneakers plan. So you have your local YMCA if you have one. I joined mine. The lady, when I joined up, said that silver sneakers is usually for 65 and up, but because of my disability, they wouldn't worry about the whole age thing. They would just ignore that part.
Huh. That's a great way to find a community.
And I know our local Y has two pools. There's the full-size pool they use for swim meets, and they have the smaller therapy pool. And it's only like 19 by 38 feet. And I get in that, and my wife is always with me. And if the pool's open, they have plenty of flotation devices available. But once I get in the water, I walk around the edge of the pool in the water. I stay close enough so I can grab the wall if I need to, just to rebalance myself. And then I do at least one lap where I blindfold myself.
Blindfold yourself? Why?
Because it cuts out the distractions, the lights flickering off the water as the water moves around. And it forces me to focus on my balance and what my feet are doing.
So joining the Y has helped your physical recovery. You get to go and do therapy
Absolutely.
exercises, but it's also helped create a little sense of community in that you see other people when you're there and connect with other people when you're there. Sometimes we just need to get out of the house to see and strike up a conversation with other people.
I strongly recommend finding a counselor to deal with all the different emotions and the new things you have to deal with.
Yeah, thanks for talking about your therapist, Sam. It sounds like working with him has been so helpful, especially in the darkest moments. It's important and maybe even life-saving to work with a professional, a psychologist, during times of loss. Steve, you participated in choir before your stroke. How has music played a role in your recovery?
There's a couple songs that really just stuck with me. When I was in the hospital, I downloaded the Pandora app on my phone and I put in a song. I searched How Great Thou Art by the Statler Brothers, because that's my favorite version of it. And of course, like other music apps, it just keeps playing lifestyle music. And there were two songs that came on. One of them is called It's Quite a Valley, and it's by Brian Free and Assurance. And that one has really stuck with me a lot. And the other one, Please Come Down to Me.
And how have those two songs helped you?
Well, the Please Come Down to Me, if you have faith, everybody hopes for that moment that an angel or somebody would come down, sit down in front of you and say, okay, this is what we're going to do. I mean, rarely does that actually happen for anybody. You don't really hear of it very often. But I believe it could. It's an option available. Like we were talking before, I do feel like I've had my God moment. And I don't know if it's one of those things like Spider-Man says, everybody gets one. And I don't know if that's true or not, but if it is, I've had my one. And that's enough to keep me going. That pretty much confirms my feelings and thoughts for me. And that's why I jokingly add, it's not burning bush fantastic. It's not Moses up on Mount Sinai kind of dramatic. But it was dramatic for me. I mean, that one moment changed the course of my life at that point in time. I mean, now I don't hold grudges anymore. I'm like, whatever. It's not enough to stay mad about. So I don't hold grudges anymore. I just kind of let things roll. See what happens next.
Wow. You actually heard a voice on the bridge that day. And for some people, it might not be a specific voice.
Oh, yeah.
But when we experience stroke, it's a moment to see life differently and to all of a sudden do things like what you're talking about, not holding a grudge anymore or looking at things from a different point of view. And so, in a way, you had two God moments. Or maybe many, many, many God moments that we don't call that.
Right.
Steve, you spoke about how your faith, music, community, and your psychologist, Sam, have helped aid your recovery. In what ways have you helped yourself?
Well, it's just a matter of keep looking, keep trying. You just got to keep moving, because even small little steps still move you forward. Just trying to push that a little bit further. I mean, just like whenever I was running races, generally speaking, pretty much every race I ever ran, on the way home, if my wife was driving, I was on my phone looking up, okay, where's the next race? I was always looking for the next one. And generally, I was trying to find the next one that's going to be a little bit harder. And it pushed me a little bit harder, a little further. And I've always done that. I've always felt that way. You just kind of have to make it up as you go along and see what happens. When I was in OT, in order to try to work on my left side awareness, they had a ball with a piece of PVC pipe stuck in it. I was like, I can make one of those. So I went to Walmart and I bought a Nerf ball, or a set of Nerf balls. And I just used this one for myself. The whole point is like to hold it in your hand, in your affected hand, and try and keep it straight up and down while you're doing something else. Like you get a deck of cards and flip over one card at a time and call out what the card is with your good hand, so to speak. And then trying to keep your affected hand in place and keep the ball straight up and down as much as possible. I was like, I can make one of those. So yeah, we went to Walmart, bought a set of Nerf balls, and I already had spare PVC pipe out in the garage.
You're a creative man. Physical therapy goods from your own house.
Well, I did take a dowel rod that I got to make some modifications and finesse it a little bit. I got a 4-foot dowel rod, mounted it on a little swivel, and then I put hooks on the bottom of it. And then on the board that it's mounted to, I got hooks on there too. So I can put a rubber band from this hook to the bottom of the rod, and I can add and subtract rubber bands as much as I want to increase or decrease tension. But the whole point is to hold on to it with my affected hand, hold on to it, and then move it left and right across in front of me. Or I can turn it and then push it out and pull it back, push it out, pull it back. It's out in the garage right now.
Wow. Wow. So you look around your house and find a variety of ways to push yourself,
Yeah.
to better yourself, to practice things like dexterity and strength and connection, even down to the mental focus. You were saying that you were flipping cards with one hand, and then the other hand you had to keep the ball up straight. That's
Well,
crafty, Steve. I love it.
right. To have some scrap wood out in the garage, so I glued a couple pieces together so they're almost 2 inches thick. I only have 18 holes in the top of it. But then I got another piece of PVC pipe about 6 inches long, and I drilled the holes in it so that the pipe would sit in there just fine. And then went online and bought a set of D&D dice. So there's a 20-sided dice. I need 2 more holes in the board. The whole idea is to hold the PVC pipe with my affected hand and then roll the dice, and whatever number comes up, that's what hole I have to put the PVC pipe in.
It's like a game. I love it.
Yeah.
That's great.
Well, I can do that with the grandkids too, because my granddaughter, she's 4, so she's really starting to learn her numbers and stuff. She can roll the dice and help me find the hole to put it in.
It's more fun with other people. I love that you invite your grandkids into that. Steve, you told us a story about your friend Tom.
Yeah.
And mentioned ways that he's been supportive of you and ways that you have fun together. Many friendships and relationships from before the stroke dissipate after the stroke. For stroke survivors who are hesitant to reach out to their friends, how do you suggest people reconnect with friends who seem to have disappeared after their stroke?
You got to eat poop, take a big bite, and get it over with. Just ask them, contact them. You might be surprised how many of them would still be more than happy to come and hang out and just sit and talk, watch a movie together, or whatever. You just never know. No's are free, so go ahead and ask. Might take a little soul searching of your own, and why is that person not a regular person in your life now? Did they just walk away? And I think as survivors, we tend to forget that our families and friends are going through something too. And nobody wants to sit and watch someone that they care about feel lost, devastated. Nobody wants to sit and watch that happen. And like I mentioned before about the struggle bus, your family, the people who care about you, do not want to hear that all the time. And they don't know what to say or how to respond to it. So that's why most of them end up, in my opinion, that's why a lot of them end up walking away, because they don't know what to say or do any more than we do.
You told us in your story about a really dark time that was hard for you to see past that darkness.
Yeah. That was in my first year when I was listening to the bad voice on my shoulder.
What do you wish you could say to yourself in that moment?
Well, if I could go back to that moment, I'd kick myself in the ass and be like, wake up and get off your butt and quit feeling sorry for yourself. Get moving.
Get moving.
Yeah.
So moving is helpful.
Yeah. Well, I sat too long and too much.
So when in moments of darkness, move, like physically move your body. And what else? What else do you suggest?
Well, if you're a person of faith, pray, reach out to people. Just ask them, can you come over just one day a week for an hour or two, and we go for a walk just on the block. You don't have to go real far. You don't have to get crazy about it right off the bat. Take your time. They can be there to support you and encourage you to keep moving. And I also recommend recording as much as possible. It's a very good reference for later.
Sometimes when we are in a dark moment, it's hard for us to remember how far we've come. So looking back at old recordings, we can see that.
Because people can tell you you're doing better, you're getting better. But if you don't feel like you're getting better, it's not real, not in your mind. For a lot of people, at least it wasn't for me.
Yeah.
That time.
And Steve, when you've reached out to other people, you've had a specific idea in mind of what you wanted them to do. Like when you called Tom and you said, I need you to come here and help me out of the tub, right?
Yeah.
That's specifically asking for help. But then also what you just shared is when you call a friend, ask them to come sit with you and watch a movie, or ask them to come walk around the block with you, or whatever it is. Sometimes people don't know what to do, and
they don't know what to do.
That's a reason that they're not reaching out. It's uncomfortable, but when you can direct them, like what you're saying, it relieves that discomfort.
Right. If you have something specific in mind, they know what to expect when they show up.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Excuse me.
You talked about searching for support groups online, and how you look for positive support groups and ones that have a can-do attitude. And you also use the phrase bus and cuss, which I had never heard before. How do you suggest survivors find the right support group for them?
Well, I went through people that I had met already. So some of the groups that they belong to, and they're like, hey, why don't you join this one? Or they'll send me invites to a different group. A lot of the groups are private, so you can't always see everything. But if it's a public group, you can scroll through some of the comments and just read a little bit. See, are they supporting each other? Are they actually being helpful? Or are they being snotty? There's occasional Zoom calls, but for the most part, it's all just online chat.
Oh, interesting. What are a few groups that have been particularly helpful for you?
Oh, there's one that is called Faith and Stroke, or Stroke in Faith. And so, of course, nobody cares if you mention God or say a prayer or anything like that. There's one that is called Inspiring Quotes.
Is this on Facebook?
Yeah, these are all on Facebook. Facebook's the only social media I have. I'm not on Instagram or any of the others. X, tweet, whatever. Some of the groups that I belong to aren't even stroke related. There's just people that we all talk about the same things. Like one of them is just Ohio bourbon. Yeah, Southern Ohio bourbonists. It's just people talking about different bourbons, what they like and what they don't like, and why they like or don't like it.
Stroke can feel isolating. When we're feeling down or alone, it's difficult. But as you say in your story, it's important to use the call button. Reach out to an online group, call a friend, call a community, call a therapist, maybe call God, and then just be patient. You will find a way forward. Steve, thank you so much for connecting with me over the past 7 weeks or so. It's really been nice to get to know you. And thanks so much for sharing your story with our Beyond Stillness community.
Thank you. It makes you think about things a bit. When you typed out the story, when I read it, you kind of remember and reminisce and think through it. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Storytelling empowers us to share our experiences in a way that invites others to reflect on their own. In closing, we offer reflection questions as an opportunity to spark dialogue with yourself, friends, family, and fellow stroke survivors. I will read questions aloud. You can also find them in the podcast episode description. Community conversation prompts. Recall a moment you felt lost or confused during your own recovery. How did you overcome it? How has asking for help in vulnerable moments benefited your recovery?
Beyond Stillness, Stories After Stroke is made possible by our guests and tax-deductible donations from friends and listeners like you. Join us in empowering stroke survivors with stories of wisdom, purpose, connection, and hope at www.beyondstillness.org. Another way to support is to like, share, or subscribe to our weekly show.
Thank you for listening to Part 2, Stephen Albright's interview. For the full story, please listen to Part 1, Stephen Albright's story. Each colorful memory creates a parable for life's greater teachings, a compass for journeys ahead, and inspired wisdom for unique growth. Steve's journey reminds us that even in our darkest moments, there is always a pathway forward, and that it's important to use your own proverbial call button. Ask for help and know that there is always a way forward. We hope Steve's story inspired you to embrace the unexpected and trust the process of healing and growth. And remember, as part of the stroke community, you are more than supportive. You are inspirational. If this episode resonated with you, please share it with others and consider donating to Beyond Stillness Stories After Stroke.
If you are part of the stroke community and have a story you'd like to share on the show, please contact us. Email molly@beyondstillness.org.